everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Broncos going up against the Jaguars. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, the fans in teal and black are ready to lock down the bank as you get a look inside Everbank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. An early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
I don't care how many accolades you had in college. There's no such thing as a can't-miss quarterback. But Blake Bortles has shown in his time in the NFL that he's a guy that you can build a team around.
They go play action here on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. But he's got it to Hearns. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Bortles on the hook up to Hearns for the Jaguar first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
He finds Hearns left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Caught right side. It's Lewis. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, that's the way you want to get an opening drive going, right? Because so often it's a tone setter. And I think even better when you're able to pick it up and convert with a running play. Because the last thing you want to do is play what I call rocket football. 1, 2, 3, kick.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Ian Williams able to drop him for a loss of 4. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Play action. Now it's Bortles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And look out. I think he's going to go. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose. The Broncos say they have it. They do. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 7-0 is our score. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 in excellent field position here. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Here we go now.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
Well, without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle him.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though. No,
old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, locking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Again, it's Fournette. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage and before.
Because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And a great spot to start this drive from here. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
2nd and 10, it's Cutler again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Demaryius Thomas, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it again with Fournette. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Call it no. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
On play action, now Bortles. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Ian Williams in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Brad Nordman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40-yard line. The second quarter score from Cincinnati. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. Andy Dalton, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. They start the drive with Lynch. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marshawn Lynch, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our Players Spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cliff Averill in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Bortles to throw on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The second quarter score from Cincinnati. The Raiders are out to an early lead. Derek Carr leading the way offensively. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle, and he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. It's caught at the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Broncos add on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you downstate to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Jaguars have really struggled out of the gate here. The Broncos have done a good job taking control of this game, and the scoreboard shows as much. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. Jaguars with the ball late in the first. The pass ends up being picked off. Broncos would then turn it around for the touchdown. The Broncos strike first in this one. Offense on the field now after the fumble. Lynch is going to stay up the middle. And this run goes for a touchdown as they move out in front, 14-0. Broncos have it midway through the second. From the rambling wreck, Demaryius Thomas making a catch coming across the middle. It ends up working for a touchdown as they go up here at 21-0. Broncos with the ball, final seconds of the half. The quick pass, it's complete, and that goes as a 58-yard touchdown. So that'll do it from here in Orlando for the second half kickoff. Let's get back upstate to Jacksonville and Brandon Guy.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On first down, it's Cutler. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On third down, Cutler flushed out right. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really...
Emmanuel Sanders, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, 58 yards, and the Broncos continue to pour it on.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. They begin with a run by Fournette. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator.
And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Brad Nordman now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And take it right on the 30. Oh, some strong running. Oh, and now some space to operate. Whoosh. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. Might have been 1 man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this is going to set up 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits?
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Marshawn Lynch with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Broncos add on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Throwing is Bortles. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Cliff Averill in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Brad Nordman now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken it around the 40. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the 3rd quarter. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Alex Smith with 1 touchdown pass thus far. They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Marshawn Lynch taking it in from 24 yards out. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. DeMarcus Walker in there with pressure yet again. And that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now.
On second down, Lynch. And he's brought down. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now Lynch. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Oh, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Marshawn Lynch, 39 yards. And the Broncos add on. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. Now McManus for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be third down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
And it's Bortles, the quarterback, slow to get up. Looks like he's going to need a moment or two. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Here's Brad Nortman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Fielded at the 20. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Here comes Jay Cutler now to lead his offense back out there. Hard to call this guy a game manager, but that's really all he's needed to do. The running game, fantastic.
And they've actually put themselves in a spot where they're able to close the game out, doing what you would want to do in this situation anyway, run the football. But they don't have to ramp up into it. They're already there. They've been establishing it the entire game.
They can keep that running theme and get into the locker room with a win. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's first and goal. They'll run with Lynch. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
This is Lynch. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on second down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes now. Here, I think they'll probably go back to the... And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every variety of run we wanted to see, we got to see. And a brand new record has been established today.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what is...
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
This is taken at the 23. Look at the dance and the juke. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the fly over the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Denver, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.